is Dave. He keeps on buying cheap parts of eBay. He is sad, don't you like Dave?
Another video, another problem with the E90. Hannah's reported the ABS light coming on and juddering and lack of power. I haven't experienced it myself. Here I am on holiday, was stressed of the last two videos and all the work on the E90 has driven me to Mallorca. And now the discovery of the new issue. On the way to the airport, I experienced the fault. I've got some footage of what happened on the dash, so I'm getting this flashing light on screen now. And whilst this happens, there is a lack of power. So obviously the engine thinks something's going on with the wheels, which isn't, and is cutting power to these wheels. After a while, you get these lights come on and the engine drives fine. So my thinking is that at this point, the engine has given up on traction control. I'm thinking it's a wheel speed sensor. It's the cheapest option and quite an easy fix. I'm back home, airplane landed literally a few hours ago, but I'm straight back in the workshop to try and fix the wheel speed sensor. The wheel speed sensor has arrived. When I got back in the car, having touched down from Mallorca, all the lights were still on the dash. Let me show you. ABS light, the handbrake light, the traction control light, and the ABS on the display here. The E90's back in the garage where it spent most of the summer. I've got the wheel speed sensor, so I'm gonna trial by error, place the passenger side, see how it goes, if it changes the behaviour. If it's the same, I'll try it on the driver's side. If it's still the same, then it's obviously not a rear wheel speed sensor. Let's go. Wheels out of the way. The wheel speed sensor is just there. You can see the Allen key bolt to undo. Then we've got this wire which runs under there and then just runs round and under the wheel arch lining. So you just got to peel back a bit of the arch lining and that should reveal the plug. 5mm Allen key bolt is that one. Do suggest giving it a bit of a clean before you try and put your Allen key socket into the bolt. Mine had loads of grit in there and I couldn't get my 5mm to fit immediately, making me think it was smaller, but it's not. Just using some grips here to gently persuade the sensor out, being careful not to snap it. Before I go any further, this is the new sensor, just check that it looks the same as the old one. It does, so let's crack on. There's a few 10mm to do from the arch lining, and possibly an 8mm that one into the mud there. Just get undoing, see what happens. So in the end we had 3 8mm down the side and 2 of those 10mm. One you saw me undo down there and another one up there. So that was it, and then I can peel the lining back and I can see the plug for the sensor. So I'm going to go ahead and unclip and unplug. Really easy to unplug. All there is that tab on the top there, only on one side. You just push in and pull it out, and it's just a case of following the wire through, unclipping the likes of this clip and pulling the wire out. Then there's 2 more of those clips underneath the upper arm, and then the sensor's out. Trying to get back in the new one, it's very tight, put some grease on it, but I'm having to apply the same technique with the grips to put it back in as I did to get it out. Obviously trying to do it as gently as possible. So that did work. Maybe I should have cleaned it out a bit better before I started. I was a little bit conscious of debris going into the ABS ring, which looks like this. So this is the new one which came with the sensor. I'm not fitting that because I think that would be a much bigger job. Plus, how likely is a metal ring like that to fail compared to an electronic sensor?
Sometimes you're wrong.
Anyway, since it's back in, so I'm going to put it all back together now. So let's skip to it all being back together. Before I do, as I'm putting it back together, I suddenly thought, oh, I wonder where the wire is meant to clip in to the clips. In this particular wheel speed sensor, there's some grooves where it goes into each clip, which is very helpful. Some more grooves there, which go into that clip. How did that go? I took the car out on a road test and the behaviour of the lights on the dashboard was a little bit different. So each time I would start the car, the ABS lights and traction control lights, everything would be off, not for very long, 100 metres of driving maybe, and then it would all come back again. So what I did next was to take the other side's wheel speed sensor off and replace it with the one on the first side, just to see if that changed things up anymore. And it did, but for the worse. So now the ABS lights won't go off at all. I've also got an airbag light on, which seems odd that that would be related, quite a coincidence for it not to be. And the speedo isn't working. I reckon the speedo is driven off the driver's side rear wheel speed sensor, and that was the second one I did. What I think is happening is, when I said about how could that go wrong was not correct.
Sometimes you're wrong.
So I've done a bit of Googling, a bit of YouTubing, and what happens to these is where they sit on the drive shaft, and the drive shafts then corrode. The corrosion gets under this ring and expands the ring to the point where the ring is then rubbing on the wheel speed sensor, and if the wheel speed sensor is touching this ring, it can send the computers into chaos. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. So what I'm going to do to test that is to fit a little washer like this under the wheel speed sensor, just to bring it out a little bit further away from the ABS ring. Hopefully that works. If it does, it kind of proves the point that those ABS rings do need replacing. I think they do, but if this works as a temporary fix, that would be great. It means that I don't have to do that job in the immediate future. Summer's gone, it's not so nice being outside working in the cars anymore. Oh, and Astra's battery died whilst I was away. So here's what I mean. I'm going to put this copper washer just under the sensor like that, which will mean it will sit just that little bit further away from the ring. So potentially, rather than rubbing on the ring, I don't know how far it will sit away, and potentially that washer's so thick that it will sit too far away. It's the thinnest washer I can find. It's just going to be a case of trying and seeing what happens. Roughly slotted the sensor back in, you can see the washer in there. Now we have it tightened up. Quick Halloween interlude there. As I was told, those are the best pumpkins ever. So just gone to do the washer on the passenger side, which is where I put the new sensor in yesterday. And you can see that has been rubbing loads on that ABS wheel. Might be so much that this new sensor's knackered already. I'll stick a washer on, put it back together and have a test. Thanks puppy. This is my little helpers cleaning my tools for me. The latest on the E90 is that the ABS lights are all still on, but the airbag light is not, and the speedo is working. The new sensor that was worn through, I tried putting that back on the car, and that's what's bringing the airbag light on. I reckon it needs two sensors either side. It definitely does need the ABS rings replacing the drive shaft, so really that should be the next job. Here we go, we've got the two new wheel speed sensors with ABS rings. We're going to fit them on both sides. So I've got the wheel off again. What I need to do is undo this nut, which is a 12-point nut. I have just the socket for it, so that shouldn't be a problem. Then I thought that I had to undo all of these arms. This BMW's got 5 arms of one sort of another, 2 up here, 1 down there, 1 there, and the lower arm underneath. Thought I'd have to undo a load of those so I could pull the hub out enough to get the drive shaft out, and then I was going to change the ABS ring while the drive shaft hung loose. But with the power of YouTube videos, I've realised or been shown that there was a much simpler way. So I still need to undo that nut, and then when the drive shaft goes into the diff, we've got these E90 bolts around the drive shaft, and if you undo those, the drive shaft will just drop down. Not something I've ever seen before, and makes life a lot easier because I was worried that pulling the drive shaft out would make all the oil come out of the diff. Before you start trying to undo this nut, there's these little tabs here which I've just knocked out because there's a slot on the drive shaft itself. Unless those tabs are bashed out, the tab will just get wedged in that slot, so you gotta tap it out. Success! I've got my E12 spanner on there with the handbrake on, means the drive shaft doesn't turn, so I can undo one, then release the handbrake, turn it around to do the next. Apparently we've got a cat in the boot. Wilfred the cat, debut on my channel. Garage cat. Garage cat, what are you doing on the door? What are you doing, garage cat? There's all the E90 bolts loosened off. Now I've just got to get the drive shaft out somehow. Just use a little screwdriver to open up a little bit of a gap so I can now get the pry bar in. Leave it away now, the pry bar, so I will now try and get it out of the way properly. Here's the drive shaft, moved away from the diff, just resting on the exhaust. Hopefully there's enough room that when I bash the drive shaft back from the hub side, there's enough room for it to go in this direction so I can pull it out. Just round the hub nut on a little bit so I can now give it a bash, try and push the drive shaft through. Here I go, starting to go at the drive shaft with the hammer, but this is where my problem started. And after a good hour of this method, trying to hit it with the Thor hammer at different angles, my feeble arms and even the mighty Thor are not man enough to get the drive shaft out, so I've put this contraption together comprised of a flywheel looking tool which I used back in my RX-7 days, and some bits of metal to push the drive shaft through. By coincidence, this flywheel looking tool has holes the same width apart as the holes for the wheel bolts. Just had to Dremel the holes out a little bit because it was out by a fraction of a millimetre. Hopefully if I wind these in, I'll put enough pressure on there to push it out. So winding them in didn't in fact work, so back to the banging. I am defeated. That drive shaft will not budge. So, plan of action is to fit the new wheel speed sensors with the washers as I tried before. I might try a thicker washer or 2 washers just to make sure that I don't ruin those like I did this one from earlier. So let's try that.
Why do I have to do so much labour speed? Is that camera on? Oh no.
Just showing this clip here because you can see the ABS ring inside the sensor hole, and you can see where it's chrome is where the sensor was rubbing on the ring.
Hello, I'm standing in the rain and I don't care, even though I got soaked.
Just to show you how seized that drive shaft was, this is my bit of metal. So it's bent along there, and this washer is no longer flat, and you can see cracks in the washer. So these are bent and the drive shaft didn't budge. So you can get the drive shaft out that needs to be done, so I brought it here to Wardies. Hopefully they can get it out, if not, new drive shafts. Just about to get on the train to pick up the car again. It's a shame that I was able to do the job myself, because I'd like to have shown you what was done. Result, I found £1.50 in the train. I'll put a dent on the 660 quid bill for the drive shafts. It's not something you see every day. So I got the car, no lights in the dash. Learned a lot from that experience. Cost £660, as I said previously, but actually when you break it down it's quite good value. 4 hours labour at £75 and 2 drive shafts at £125 each. Hopefully they're good quality ones for that price and will do the job. Whereas if I'd bought them I probably would have spent a fifth of that and they wouldn't have lasted. So this is how we got the drive shafts out of the hub. We used a tool like this. But before they did so, they drilled a hole down the middle and then heated the drive shaft up. So as it heats up it expands, but then as it cools down it contracts, and that allows them to knock the drive shaft out. And they told me that it took 17 tons of pressure to do that. So actually, even if I'd bought a tool, it probably wouldn't have even been able to produce 17 tons. So I think I did the right thing and take it to the garage, and it was a useful experience. The curse of the cheap eBay part has struck again. So we've had the ABS lights come back on the E90 intermittently, comes on for a little bit and then goes off again. So I'm putting that down to the cheap wheel speed sensors that I bought, which were 20 quid for 2. So I've now spent £60 for 2 on the Bosch ones, so just replacing those now. Whilst I'm under here you can see in there the nice new ABS ring and the shiny new drive shaft. I don't really know what the point of showing you that was, but it's nice to know what you get for 660 quid. So that's the Bosch wheel sensors on the E90, giving it a drive, seems fine. And whilst everything's working, it seems like a good point to end the video. Thanks for watching.